Hi. I'm Sonia, and this is my podcast on which I talk about movies, film industry, and filmmaking with different filmmakers all around the world. And today my guests are Mac and Avani. They are really cool filmmakers. Just look at their shots. Fantastic, right? Recently, their short film Gaze became an Audience Choice winner for June Lift Off Sessions and became an official selection at Worcester Film Festival 2024. Let's congrats them, guys! With them, we talk about their way into film industry, their favorite movies, what happening now in the industry. They told about cool hacks for filmmakers, and we discuss the problem of what films are now art or business. Hope you're gonna love it. Enjoy watching. Today with me is Mac and Avani. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, you're saying that right, yeah.
Okay. They are film directors and script writers. Cinema. So, firstly, I would like to ask you a really important question. How you get to filming movies, not into the industry, but to understanding that you want to do this.
We we had like a bit of a weird start in like deciding that we wanted to do this because we went to university to like study film, so we've done like the film theory side of it, and then we were quite lucky we got to do a practical module of filmmaking. But the issue with it was that like we were kind of the guinea pig class, so and we just come out of COVID as well, so it was like a bit up in the air, like it wasn't the best. And I remember we had quite an awful experience. And so we kind of wrote it off. We were like, oh, we don't think that's actually what we want to do. And so both of us were kind of like, well, I mean, I especially was very much like, oh, I don't think that's going to be for me. And then when it came to our final year, we just kind of, I don't really know how it came about actually, but I think we were just talking one day and we were like, should we just give it another go? Should we just try again? And then we did. And I know that sounds like it's so simple to be like, oh, we just did it. Like there was a lot of planning and stuff, but that was kind of the shift. We were just like, oh, well, like if we don't give it, like if we try it and it fails again, we'll know it's definitely not for us. But if we try it and it works, then it's right.
Yeah.
Well, as I see, it works really good. But was you into films from like your childhood, or there was just like a moment when you're like, oh, wait, films are cool.
I did it personally as a last minute thing. Like, I didn't really know what I wanted to study at uni. And then I was like, okay, let's do film. It sounds fun. And then here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit different, but for like kind of like in a way I'm similar because I wanted to do writing. Like I wanted to write rather than make films. And then I just realized very quickly that I was not very good at description writing, which is like a bulk of this like what this like stories are. And I just remember like when I was like writing or trying to come up with ideas, like I could visualize them rather than write them down. And I think then I was like, maybe I should just make films instead.
Well, it's really interesting actually, because usually I hear like people saying, "I knew I want to do it from a childhood," and you're like, different. It's different, but it's really cool. But was there like certain movies that um, develop? Oh, I'm sorry, the wrong word. Sorry.
That's okay.
Uh, that influence on your decision.
Was there any for you?
No, not really. I kind of just I don't really know what pushed me to do it, to be honest. I think, like, yeah, to be honest, I really don't know, to be honest. What about you?
Yeah, I think so. I think like so growing up, like I don't know if I could pinpoint like one particular film, but like growing up, like my mum like had films on in the background all the time, and like this is a little bit weird, but sometimes I wouldn't like how they ended. So like I would go to like bed at night and I would like create a new ending in my head for the film, and then I'm like, oh my god, amazing. So I think like that kind of then inspired me a little bit and like pushed me to like be more creative and everything. But I remember one film at uni. It's Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. Avani knows it, yeah. It's one of my favorites. I think it's such a gorgeous film, and I remember thinking when I watched it that I was going to hate it because it's part of slow cinema, and I don't always have the best attention span, so I was thinking it was going to be awful. But I remember, like, I loved it. Like, the cinematography, it's just beautiful. And I was like, oh my god, wow! If I could do something like that, that'd be great.
That's really cool. Wait, can you please repeat which movie exactly? Like the name?
Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky.
No, I know. Damn, I tried to watch it, but I didn't, because it was so hard
fair.
actually.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like the film.
Yeah, I think like our class it was very much like love or hate. It's a bit like mustard, like in the sense like you either loved it or you hated it. It wasn't.
It's
Yeah.
It's so impressive. I'm always impressed by people who so into Tarkovsky. I definitely not grown up a lot to start to watch it. Maybe someday.
Someday.
Yes. But how you do you know each other from the childhood?
No, from uni.
Oh. And like how you get into work with each other?
We kind of, I don't really know actually. We met, It was kind of like fate really. We met in first year because we lived in the same accommodation, and so because we studied film, like there wasn't a lot of people who were doing just straight film, especially not in our block. There was only 3 of us, so we were trying to like make friends and meet new people, and so we all met up for coffee. And then we ended up being in the same module together for like a class. So we met up then. And then because we lived in the same block, we just were like, oh, we should just meet up and like work together. And then I think we just became really close friends. And then we worked together on the film set that wasn't amazing and kind of threw us off a little bit. And then I think we just stayed friends after that. And then we just spoke about film a lot and what we wanted to do with our future. And then we were like, let's just work together.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's always cool to find people with who you can work and be friends. It's even cooler.
Yeah, definitely.
But have you ever felt like maybe your cinematography style or your opinion about the script are like different, absolutely different?
We've not really had that problem yet, have we?
No, I wouldn't say so. Like, I think if like the film, like the films and TV shows that we like are very different. Like, absolutely different.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I think when we first started working together, I think like it was like a little bit of a concern, like the tinsiest, tiniest one that like maybe we would clash. But I think we've done quite well because I think like
we both know how each other work, so I think that helps.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I definitely think, like, you know, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I've got this idea for a really cool shot, and Avani will give it a go. And then if it's not working, she'll be like, actually, let's try it this way instead, because I've got an idea as well. And then we'll just do that. And I think we just kind of respect both of like each other's ideas. But if we do think something's not working, like, there's like a nice safe space that we can just like, it's a bit rubbish actually.
Yeah.
Well, it's really cool to not have conflicts on set. For example, but
that's why our other one didn't go well.
Yeah,
really. So,
well, I can say I kind of have the same situation. I found one friend with who we can make movies.
Oh, yay! That's so good.
Yeah, that's cool. We like our favorite movies are super different, but at the same time we good at working together. But as we started to talk about it, like, I'm sorry for this question, okay? But what's your favorite movies?
I hate this question. And
I hate this question.
I use it as an icebreaker all the time, even though I don't have an answer. Actually, never mind, I do, because I have 2. So one of them is Stalker by Andrei Tarkovsky. I love it. But that's also like my little film. If I was being a pretentious film student, that would be my answer. But also Kung Fu Panda. I love that film so much. It's so funny. Like, I watched it recently. It's so good. And like, the thing is, I think when I was younger, I wasn't really a fan of cartoon things. And so, but I remember I really loved that one. But I don't think I like actually like appreciated how funny it is. Like, it's so iconic. Yeah.
Good
What
film.
about you, Avani? What do you think? What's yours?
I don't know. I think I don't have a pretentious film like that I actually like. I'm not gonna lie. But if I was to say my favorite film, I don't know. There's too many. Like I'm very picky with a film that I like. And I don't really know, to be honest with you. Like if I was to say a film that's like my go-to, and if I'm like sad, happy, like angry, whatever, I will always watch Just Go With It.
Banging film. That's so
Yeah.
good. What would you
Yeah.
say your favorite film is?
Mine? Damn. I hate this question too. But as I ask you this question, I will answer. I will try to answer. I don't know, but I don't have a certain favorite movies, but I have some movies that inspire me a lot and like they help me. Like in whatever mood I am, I know that those film gonna help me. It's actually just Greta Gerwig, all of her movies.
Yeah, no, her films are so good. I think like her work is just like phenomenal. It's so good.
It is.
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of impressed by the combination of Stalker and Kung Fu Panda. Never thought I'll hear it someday. But that's cool. As I'm from Moscow, I really want to ask, did you watch some other like Russian or Soviet movies?
Yeah, we had a week on it.
Yeah, we did. We had a specific. Yeah, but I can't remember what film we watched.
No, I can't. It was Soviet montage. Like that was like the like Soviet montage cinema was the week we studied. And I remember
it's on the tip of my brain, but I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, like I can picture what it looks like. I can like see the shots in my head, but I can't.
Well, I kind of
I
I can't even remember.
It was a good week though. I remember.
It's definitely it was a montage week, as I understood. Yeah, I definitely understand what movies you watched.
Yeah. I think it was very interesting when we did that week because it was so different to all the other weeks we'd done. Because I think like that was during our film history module, so that was like when we were just kind of like it was like learning about like how cinema kind of like came to be and like going from just kind of like pictures and panoramas and stuff like that, and then actually being made. And then I think it was such a difference that it was a really interesting week. Yeah,
it was.
It's really cool. But is there any movies that it's not must be your favorite movies or something, but you like watch them and like I want to, I don't know, recreate that shoot or something like that. Did you have it?
There are definitely shots that I've seen that I'm like, oh, I want to recreate, but not a specific movie. No.
What films are there shots from that you want to recreate? Like, do you have any like that you could say?
That is a great question. If I remembered, to be fair, no, the other day I watched Long Legs, and there was this shot by like the mirror where like it was like dripping, and like it just looked really cool. Like I don't really know how to explain it, but like there was steam, there was like it just looked really cool, and then there was like movement, so like it turned like a whole 360. It just looked really cool, and I was like, I want to make that shot.
This sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Have you watched Long Legs?
I haven't seen it yet. I really want to. It's on my bucket list to go and watch it. Have you seen it?
No, I'm too scared.
That's fair. I won't lie. I think like it's only been recently that I've got into horror films. You've always liked them, haven't you, Abby?
Yeah, I've always loved them. Like I'm a sucker for them.
What's your favorite like? Okay, I'm sorry, I'm asking this too much about favorite movies.
No, it's okay.
But what movie you really like? Let's change the question a little. What movie you really like from horror movies?
It's a bit cliche, but I like the Conjuring series.
Well, actually no. A lot of horror lovers.
They're just classic, and they're actually like the jump scares are pretty good. And that's the whole point. So yeah, it's a good film.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I'm too scared. But it
Wait,
sounds
you've never
cool.
seen them?
No.
Oh, you should.
Oh, yeah. No,
They're good.
they were like my introduction to horror. I remember like, so they do have a special place in my heart. They're not like my favorites, but I think like, I remember like I was really scared and I was like, oh my god, no, these films aren't going to be for me at all. But like, they're actually really good, yeah. Like, you should watch them. They're a good introduction. Watch them in the day. That's what I do.
Yeah,
I
watch them in the
horror films at
day, yeah.
night.
I usually, usually my friends really like watch how I watch horror movies because it's funny for them. But I usually watch horror movies with my friends only a day because I'm too scared.
Yeah, no, I think that's honestly that's how it's got to be. I think most of the horror films I've ever watched have been like with a group of people. Yeah, I think I would say like I went to see Longlegs at like the 9 p.m. showing, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 9 p.m. showing. Yeah, it was a late one. And I was walking. Oh no, I was driving back in the dark, and I like rap music, and that was scaring me. So I had to like put like Taylor Swift on.
That sounds amazing. I remember my friend made me watch Midsummer, and
that's a really good film.
yeah, I was so scared after it, so I decided to rewatch Barbie.
Oh,
Yeah.
good choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I watched that film in the day. I did, and then I literally like I can't remember what I did. I think I just put on like really like upbeat pop music for like the next like 5 hours. I was like, I need something like a bit cheery.
Yeah. That's what scary movies do with us.
Mm.
But from the last movies that came out in theaters, or maybe already online, what would you give 4 or 5 stars on Letterboxd?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. I'm really fussy about what I give 5 stars. Actually, you know what? I have my phone on me. I'm going to look at what I've given 5 stars on Letterboxd.
I don't put things on Letterboxd. Like,
can you repeat? I didn't hear.
I don't put things on Letterboxd. Like, I don't use Letterboxd personally.
Why?
I don't know. I just never really got in the hype of it.
To be fair, I always forget to like update it.
Yeah.
I do quite like it. Yeah. I gave 5 stars to Little Miss Sunshine. I love that film.
That is a
And
good film.
also, it is a good film. And then Titane by Julia Ducano. That's a really good film, but it is really weird. So if anyone is going to watch that, like it's really strange.
I personally like strange movies. Not all strange movies, but some I really like them.
Yeah, I mean, like this film, I wasn't expecting. Like I knew, I did some research about it first off, and then so I knew it was going to be a little bit out there and weird and just kind of something that's like, oh, okay, that's happening. But like, I honestly don't know any other word other than strange, but it's really weird.
Mhm.
But it's a good film.
I never watched it. I will. It's already in my list to watch.
What have you given 5 stars on Letterboxd?
I don't use Letterboxd a lot too, because I don't know. I I like to send like silly comments on movies. Yes, but I think from the last released, Challengers definitely, and
You know, I still haven't seen that actually. I really want to.
I don't think I've watched that either, actually. No, yeah, I've not watched Challengers.
you really should. The cinematography is there. I was just watching like.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what? I did hear like really, really good things about the cinematography.
Yes, it's a cool movie. It's a cool movie. But if talking about like silly comments on Letterboxd, what do you think is more respectful to movie industry, like silly comments about movies, or real reviews?
I don't know. I feel like film is so subjective. So I think with a review, I think, you know, you're just going to kind of take criticism on the chin a little bit. Because the thing is, like, you could make something that you're like, oh my god, amazing, wow, this is like tier stuff, and someone else could genuinely just sit and watch it and think it's the worst thing ever. So I think with reviews, like, they're kind of that, but silly comments are just funny, like in any sense of the word, like whether they're trying to be like actually funny or whether they're like meant to be like hateful, like they're just funny because they're silly. So I think like in a way like they're better. Yeah. What would you guys say?
Yeah, I would agree. Like, I think like if you have to say something funny, then you may as well say it because that's your opinion.
Yeah.
So you may as well just be truthful, no matter if it's like bad or good.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. My reviews, I actually never like. It's not reviews. It's silly comments. It's never showing if the movie is bad or good. It's just silly pop culture moment. But like about pop culture, what do you think? Like now, as I personally see it, there's like the audio. Okay, the people like more like strange movies like A24, and that's become like more pop culture than movies like from big companies with big budget like blockbusters. What do you think? Like, is like for example superhero movies are dead, or is it just like a phase?
I think the thing is that I think like stranger movies I think have more appeal at the moment because like they're more interesting. I like don't get me wrong, I'll hands up be like I love Marvel, like I love the superhero films, but like I think towards the end, especially after like Endgame and Infinity War, it just again this is just my personal opinion, but like I think it just very much felt like it was like the same thing just kind of being churned out, and there wasn't anything that was like really new and something that like felt like, oh wow, okay, I've not seen this done before, or I've not seen this done for a while, and like something different. Whereas I think like more like A24 with it like kind of being strange, like it has like that like space to just kind of be weird and just kind of do what it needs to do and just like take its own reins and see where things go and just like put new things out there. And I think that's what keeps people interested. That's what keeps like film interesting rather than just kind of like the same old stuff, I guess. Yeah.
Avani, what do you think?
I would say, like, I mean, I've personally never been a fan of like Marvel or like any of those kind of like films, to be honest with you. So I don't really know, but like I feel like I sort of agree with you, Meg, with what you said. But yeah, wait, what did you say?
I personally think I'm a Marvel fan, and I like those movies, but I think more and more those movies becoming just same happen in a lot of like genres, not only superhero
Yeah.
movies but like horror, everything. They try to do business from it, and I think cinematography is art first of all, and second
Yeah.
business,
100%, yeah.
and they just forget about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think like
Yeah.
I mean like when Dune came out, the cinematography for that was just like insane. And
Yeah, I
just
remember you
like
saying.
yeah, I went to the cinema to see it like with my boyfriend, and like both of us came out and we spoke for like an hour just about how much we like loved the cinematography. And I remember I came out and I remember I messaged Avani actually, and I was like, oh my god, I've got chills all over my body. And I was like, this is like, it was so cool. And like it kind of reminded me like why I wanted to be a filmmaker, why I wanted to do it. And like I was like super excited to just like get back into like filmmaking and like get back into being creative. And I think like it's that kind of spark that I think like the superhero films are kind of missing at the moment, where it's like something like fun and new and like makes you excited.
Yeah. Then I also feel like all like especially horror as well, like they're missing something. They're all just so predictable right now.
Yeah, it's true.
It's annoying.
I hope A24 are gonna save this beautiful genre. Even if I'm scary, I interested in those movies. But would you like to work with A24 someday?
Yeah, they're really cool. Like they're so cool. I'd love to work with them. I like stalked their site the other day, and I was like, wow, I love them. Yeah, that would be so cool.
But like, what people in the industry, like big people, directors or actors, would you like to work with?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Mm, I don't know. I thought there's too many people out there that's good.
Yeah. So I'm currently doing my dissertation for my master's. So I think this is just because it's in my brain and I've had to do like a lot of research on it. But I'd love to work with Darren Aronofsky, who did like Black Swan, Noah, Mother, Requiem for a Dream. I think like I really like his work. For my undergrad dissertation, I wrote about his films. For my master's, I'm writing about his films. So I'm a little fan over here. But no, I really like his work, and I think like it's very artistically done. I think every time I've watched them, I've been like, it's very cool. I like this work.
Oh well, while talking to you, I really saw how like from the movies you like and stuff, how you like dark atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I really want to ask, like, in your movies, uh, do you want to show not only the dark atmosphere, but maybe talk about some really, really creepy, strange, and mysterious stuff, or you want to show something else?
I feel like anything that we've got in the pipeline right now is not really to do with that. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know. I think our first film we kind of explored like
Oh
the
yeah, we
dark
did.
side.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
that was
so our
dark.
very
Yeah.
first film that was quite dark, and then I think our second film that was still I guess dark
Oh
in a
yeah, that
way.
was dark actually. Yeah.
And then I think like the films we've done more recently don't have that kind of dark streak. I think they're just kind of
Yeah,
they're different
mellow.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you like to do this someday?
I mean, you've worked on a horror set, haven't you?
I have. I mean, it was an interesting thing because I guess in a horror film, the only thing that makes it really scary, in my opinion, is the music. So like when someone like does something that's meant to be scary, but there's no music, it's a bit strange. But also it was a different experience because like we've personally never done anything like that. And to be fair, like when I like started realizing that I wanted to make films, I did always say to myself like, oh, I would make a horror film one day. But like I want it to be like scary, so I don't want to just rush into it and not not be scary because then I'm just gonna be like, oh, I didn't like. I feel like my younger self would be very disappointed. So I'm gonna wait until I'm a pro.
It's fair. It's really fair. Uh, but so as I understood, like it's not scary to shoot scary movies.
No,
It's good.
yeah. It is a fun set to be on because like everyone kind of is like upbeat, which is weird because you're like making a scary film. But like it was good vibes.
Can't even imagine it, like happy cool vibes on set and
Yeah.
then scary movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, like, what music inspire you?
Ooh, good question. I have so many playlists. It's a little bit silly actually. I have lots of different
understand.
ones. So I think sometimes like so I have like a film scores playlist. So sometimes like my favorite music from films I've added to that like playlist. And so sometimes if I really need to like focus on my work, that's the playlist I play. But then sometimes like I either start thinking of films that they're from, and then I'm like, oh my god, wow, or like it starts like inspiring me to make ideas and stuff. I think it depends on like I don't know. Sometimes it'll just be like one lyric that like inspires me. I don't know if there's anything like specifically that's like I could probably name. I don't know. Could you
Yeah.
name anything specific?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, I feel like because me and you have completely different music tastes, it's interesting when it comes to films, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think like there was one time, and I think we were trying to find a song, and I was trying to explain like what I wanted, and then Avani was like, "What about this song?" And I was like, "I don't know how you got from A to B, but not quite." Do you have any songs that like inspire you and like make you like yeah?
I think yes, music is really important for me when I write scripts. I can't
Mm.
write without music.
Yeah, no, oh my god, I feel
Yeah.
that I can't write in silence at all.
I need to feel the vibe. So music
Yeah.
is really helpful, and some of the music are like going. I know that I want this exact song to be in this exact sound, but there is no specific music. I listen to everything, so I can go from I don't know like Vivaldi to Taylor Swift in 1 minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Uh, from the last movies that you shoot, do you have like something like some funny or maybe sad story? No, I hope you don't have sad stories from sets, but anyway.
I don't think we have any sad stories. To be fair, like we've been quite lucky with our sets that they've been quite like upbeat and fun. Like they've been
Yeah.
stressful, but every film set is
It's stressful.
I think.
Yeah.
I think the last set we worked on was for like our newest film, and so we filmed that very recently at the start of July. So
Yeah.
which was a lot of fun. And this one was more fun for us than usual because we filmed in a different location to what we had ever done before. So it was new and so it felt really exciting. And yeah, I think it was really fun. Like our lead actor, he's a very talented man, and so he kept us all entertained on set with all his different skills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't think I've ever seen someone that tall hold onto their foot and jump through, but it was pretty impressive.
Yeah. He had some cool tricks up his sleeve, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know if there's anything like particularly funny that stands out, which makes that sound like bad. I think it's just like just laugh.
Yeah, I feel like we all just get on. So like it was just really good vibes throughout the whole time.
Yeah.
And like everyone kind of like knows each other. So like on that set, like we were quite lucky. So it was really easy for people to like get on, talk. Like the vibes were good.
Yeah, I think like probably one of my favorite things from the set was we had a few scenes where we had to like make the actors dance, and so like everyone was kind of dancing with them. Like Avani would be holding the camera, like going in between them, but like bopping up and down as she went, and like we were just like dancing with everyone. And I think like that created like this really like nice wholesome vibe. So yeah, it was very cute.
Good atmosphere while filming is really important, I think. But it's really cool actually. Hope you will never have any sad or bad story from sets.
Although, actually, you reminded me just then saying about sad. I think the saddest thing, and it wasn't super sad, but so our main actress, Liv Horrider, she's absolutely incredible, and we had to make her cry for
We
like
did.
a few scenes, just because like the character has to cry, so we needed her to cry, and she's excellent at it. But she came up to me beforehand. She was like, just so you know, like I have to like I cry natural tears, but like I'm just before we shoot that scene, I'm just going to take myself away, put my headphones in, listen to sad music, get myself feeling like really sad, so that then I can like deliver this performance. So we just kind of like were all chilling in the living room and just like hanging out. And then after like 20 minutes, we went through, and like she had like tears streaming down her face, and like it was such a hard moment to like be like, okay guys, like put a camera in the face, because like she looked so sad, and all I wanted to do was give her a hug, and like it was such a weird thing as well because she would like say cut in between our takes, and like she would go from sobbing to just being like, was that okay? And I was like, whoa. Yeah. So yeah, like, it was kind of sad because it was horrible to see her be so upset, but then also it was kind of funny because she snapped out of it so quick.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually impressive. I can't cry on camera at all, even if I'm sad.
Yeah. No, she was impeccable. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
But yeah, as I get like most of the people with who you shoot movies are like your friends. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but are you like become friends through working together, or you was friends at first?
Yeah, through working.
Yeah.
I think especially on our most recent sets, everyone was kind of new that we met through film sets.
Yeah, no one that we worked on that film set we knew, because from us, we knew like previously.
Yeah, outside of another film set. So like the film we just worked on, we had worked with we'd worked with the sound producer before, and we'd worked with the assistant director and the main actress, but all from different film sets. So we didn't know them like through like uni or socializing or like from childhood or anything. So we just knew them from film, and then like we became really close friends on the sets we'd worked with them on previously, and we just really enjoyed working with them, and we were like these people again, and like so I think that's the one thing I really, really enjoy about filmmaking, actually. It's like you just make so many like good friends, and it's just, it's really fun.
Yeah. It's a good socializing thing.
It's cool. But have you ever, like, I don't know, felt I absolutely stressful every time when I do movies, even though I'm super happy, like I'm doing it, but I so stressful, like I can't. Like, do you have those feelings on sets, or you just
No,
feel
100%
away?
we do.
100%. We get so stressed.
Yeah.
I get very stressed. Poor Barney. No, I think this is the thing that you can have so much fun, but like at the end of the day, like you're there to like do a job and get things done. So like you've got to make things look good. So you got that thing to do. You got to make sure everyone's organized. You got to make sure that like all your equipment's there. You got to make sure that like you're on time for everything, that the schedule's going okay. And then just like other things, it's like making sure that like people are drinking, people are staying hydrated, and like people are like eating, and like making sure that everyone's fed, making sure people are having like a decent amount of rest time, making sure that like people are feeling okay with what they're filming today, like just checking in with people. And I think like it's fun. It really, really is. And like you have those moments where it's like so much fun. But like there's just this like underlying bubble of stress that like to look back on it's really funny. But like in the moment it just gets quite intense actually.
I think it's only really tense on like the first day. But then after that, then we know like, we've got into the rhythm of things, we know what we're doing, we're comfortable with everyone. Then it's okay. Kind of.
Yeah.
But do you have like any like what's the most stressful phase of doing the movie for you?
Oh.
And what's the most peaceful one? I would really like to know.
Finishing.
Yeah. I would say maybe like the week before we film is always probably the worst, because I think that's when we realize we've like either forgotten something or like usually I think the week before we film is just like it's making sure that like everyone is definitely confirmed, like you're definitely going to be there, you definitely know your lines, you've definitely got your costume, you've definitely got the equipment, like it's just making sure that like all those definites are like ticked. And so I think like it becomes really stressful, like double checking all of that. But then I think then making sure like what to do if like someone's like, oh no, I can't make it, or like, oh no, I don't have that costume or something like that. I think we've experienced that a few times, and then I think it's like last minute rush around to like fix it, and that like it makes it very stressful. Yeah.
Actually, I listened to this and I'm already a little stressful. But what's your favorite like phase? Even if it's stressful, what you like to do the most?
Making the film.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
no,
I love it.
Like for me, I know that I like everything in filmmaking and I want to try everything. But every time when for example, I do editing and montage, I can't. I'm not annoyed, but I'm so stressful. I don't know. I'm not into this. But when I shoot, I know like yes, we're doing it. Like, do you have like something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like pre-production is always really hard. So then it feels really rewarding when we then like get on set and we like film something. Especially like there was a few shots where we kind of were like, oh, this will be a bit hard just because of like backdrops and like just the way we wanted it filmed. And I think it was quite fun, like having to like go from like just like practicing that to like doing it on the day. But also like I like edit a lot of what we film, and I love doing that. I love it so much. Like especially the color grading. Like I'm not like saying I'm like an expert at all, but like I've definitely like learned how to do it and get better at it. And like every single time I watch the footage go from like raw to colored, I'm like, oh my god. Like I remember I messaged Avani about it the other day, and like I was like, girl, look at this.
Yeah, it's impressive what color can do.
As I now edit my short movie and I want to color it. I've never done it before because all the project I've been doing is like 30 seconds. So,
yeah.
And now it's a movie and I want to color it, but I have no idea how to. Like, do you have any hacks that I should know before starting?
Oh. I don't really know. I mean, like, I followed a YouTube video, but I made sure to watch one that had like quite a short thing because I think the thing with the YouTube videos, all the tutorials are very helpful, but there's some that are quite long, and I don't have the attention span or the patience for it a lot of the time. So I remember when I was doing it, I just found like the shortest one that kind of was like straight to the point and everything. And then also, especially if you're going to color on DaVinci, I would say make sure you know what camera you're using because like that changes like the input and the outputs that you need to have on it. Because I remember the first time I coloured Gaze, which we filmed in October last year, I like did it and I just followed straight from the instructions of the YouTube video. And then my cinematographer messaged me and was like, oh, hey, like, it looks great, but like you've used the wrong settings, you've not used the right camera. And so then he sent me the right settings and like the colour just changed and became so much bolder and so much better. And like, so I would say that definitely super important is making sure you've got the right settings because otherwise like it can still look good but it looks a little bit flat. So yeah, I would probably say that would be one tip.
I will do it. It's my first time, so thank you. Really helpful. As you work together, like, do you have like work that, for example, Mac, you only do like that work, and you Avani only do that, like something like script writing, or coloring, or something like that, or you do everything together?
I think I edit the most.
Yeah, you edit them. I don't edit anything.
Yeah, I think I edit, and then
you edit.
Like,
you write the script.
Yeah, usually like I write and I edit the most. I would say that's the thing. I would say that's what like I kind of do, and then I think everything else
we kind of do together.
Yeah. And Avani's like the main cinematographer. Sometimes I'm a bit of a control freak and I do take over a little bit. So, but like Av is like the cinematographer. Like she is the one who does like who gets the shot, gets really good like quality content, and like she's incredible at what she does. Yeah.
Avani, as you are a cinematographer, do you have like any cameras or any like stuff that you really like to use while filming?
So, I mean, to be fair, it's quite funny because I think only previously we've used like the same two cameras in our last two films. Because before, so our first ever film we made, we just used like, I mean, it wasn't a bad camera. It was just a very old camera from like uni. And I think it was a Lumix GH6, I want to say.
I think it was a GH5.
Okay, yeah, maybe GH5. So it was a very old camera, but like, I think for that film, lighting was very important. So like, I think it didn't really show that we used such an old camera because I think even our professor said like, oh, I didn't even realize you used. Like he kind of downplayed the camera, and we were like, oh, okay. So I think we've experimented a lot, but like we've definitely found our favorite, and that is the Blackmagic Pocket 6. And it's really hard to like get a hang of because like one of our sets went completely wrong. Like we've had to now reshoot it because I didn't know the settings of the camera and I kind of like messed it up. So, pre-warning, if you ever are using it, make sure you know it like to the back of your hand, because otherwise, like, it can really mess it up because it's completely different to like any other camera that you would probably have worked with before. But like the shots you could get are amazing. Like, it's a really good camera.
What do you think about like movies that were made on iPhones?
Sorry, say that again.
What do you think about
Films
the
that were made on
movies that were done on iPhones?
iPhones. I think like the quality of an iPhone now is crazy. Like, you can get some really good quality like images and videos, but I personally wouldn't use a phone just because I enjoy like changing. Like, it's very hard to change like the aperture, the ISO. Like, you can do that, but like it's very minimal.
And have
So
you
you
heard,
can't really get exactly what you want.
have you heard like of apps that can change your phone camera to different cameras? Like they change the setting and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that actually. It kind of blew my mind a little bit, and I also wasn't sure how much I trusted.
Have you personally used that?
I didn't because I never do like I do, but rarely. As
Yeah.
I do cinematography because I have a friend who do everything, and I do editing and writing. Uh, we kind of have the same situation as you. But I don't know, like when you've been shooting your first movie, what have you felt? And what have you felt when you like we did it? We posted it.
We had a shot like that, didn't we, on the most recent one, where like it was in the kitchen, the dancing scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think like that was a moment where like I think it was probably like it was either the second or the third day of us filming. I think it was the second, and like it was towards the end of the day, and it was one of the final things we shot. And I remember like we'd had quite a good day of like shooting because like Avani said, like the time we filmed before this was the time when like everything kind of went wrong with the camera. So we had been like very stressed. And I think because that really added a lot of stress and pressure to this film because we didn't want that to happen again. So like we'd been having quite a good day with the camera. We were really impressed with the shots we'd got. We were really happy with acting. And then there's this one shot that we got of our two mains like leads dancing in the kitchen, just kind of like dancing crazy, just dancing together. And the way it's shot is like they're in the center, and then there's these two other blinds that are next to them, so it's framed really, really nicely. And the way they come in, and then just it's such a beautiful shot. Like I know again, like it's definitely like a little baby. And then we all sat around in the kitchen, like at the breakfast bar, like watching it. Like there's a really cute photo that someone got of like us all like sitting crowded around it. Really gorgeous, actually. Yeah. I think like that moment where like everyone comes together and like everyone's like, oh my god.
It sounds amazing. Actually, I feel this excitement. It's so cool. But for who you firstly show like the finished movie?
Each other.
Each other, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I think sometimes I've had to edit when my mum's been like with my mum. So sometimes I'm like, what do you think? Just because she's home. So I think, to be honest, whoever I'm with in that moment, because I think one of the first people I showed gaze to was my boyfriend and my friend who I was with at the time in Exeter, just because like it'd just been finished and I was like, oh my god, don't tell me I'm crazy, because I was thinking, oh my god, it's really good. So I remember like I showed them, but I think usually if we're together, it's each other.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's always important to show your work to the people you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as well, because like the people I love, like they are nice, but they will not hesitate to be like, that's rubbish if they think it. Like I remember I once showed my mum something and I was like, oh, what do you think of this? And she was like, do you really think that's good? And I was like, oh, okay then. So, you know, I can always rely on her to kind of be harsh about it, but in a loving way. And it definitely like makes us better filmmakers. So
yeah, it's true. I do the same. Even though sometimes it's hard a little, like then the finished result for sure will be good.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
sorry. I try to make
That's okay.
a sentence look normal. Sounds normal. I'm sorry. When you make movies, we've been talking about how locations are expensive. Like how you finding the locations for your movies.
I feel like we've used a different like kind of thing each time. Because like usually we would film in Exeter, which is where we were based originally for uni.
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on like the vibe of the film that we've made, because we've kind of not stuck to like one genre of film every time we've made something. Like it's always been something a little bit different. So the locations have always kind of needed to be a little bit different. So I think like that definitely comes into play. Like we like needed a bedroom slash a house for the second film we made, which was for Avani's final dissertation. And we kind of were like looking at Airbnbs in Exeter because you had a very specific vision in your mind of what you wanted. And I think this is the thing like that we learned, because like we were amateurs and like, we're coming up and like just starting out. Like sometimes you have a vision in your head and you kind of like not settle for second best, but you sometimes have to just kind of like compromise a little bit on what you wanted, because there's something like I've really specifically wanted that like where we were based we just would never get. So we kind of found like something that we were like, oh, this works just as well as that original vision. So I think that probably took us a while to find, but then when we did, it was good. And similar to the film we just did, like it took us a while to find the locations, but it's just all about searching and hoping something you like pops up, really.
Yeah, it's about patience as well, because like I feel like if it does take a long time to like get right, and like you will eventually find that one that you do either compromise with or find the exact one that you want.
It's really interesting. I when I've been like, it's my first time filming in some location, because usually it was like, again, little videos at home or somewhere like in the park. I find a photo studios that one like look as a school class, and the other one just a photo studio. But it was a really interesting experience. Expensive but interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is the thing, like sometimes that you'll find exactly what you need and then you're like, oh, that does not fit our budget at all. So you kind of have to like just think about like, I think that's another thing as well. Like we had a few times where we were like, oh, we love this, and then it was just super expensive and we were like, never mind.
Yeah, it was.
Well, actually, I've never like. Thank you for the really interesting hack, because sometimes I'm trying to like. Now my friend, he's doing a movie and he's trying to find a location, and we talk about it, and we try to find some studios or something like that, and we never thought of Airbnb.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It's so good, yeah. We've been very lucky as well, because like the Airbnb hosts we've had have like let the crew stay as well. So like we've had it so that it's been like maximum like 2 people can stay, but then we've had it so that like we've had like a crew of like 4 or 5, and they've been okay with us all just staying, and like because we've been like, look, we'll be like super careful. So like we've been very like lucky, and we're so grateful for that, because it really helps us out. So.
Yeah,
It's cool. Actually, recently, I don't know from who I heard it, like you can search for different escape rooms and ask them to make a movie in their locations.
That's so cool.
Yes. I think, for example, for a horror movie, some escape room could be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, that would be really cool.
Yes. But it's so, it can be expensive too.
Yeah,
I
I can imagine that.
That's a problem. Well, actually, I think I asked all the things I wanted.
Oh, good.
No, yeah, thank you so much for this. This
Thank
has
you
been
very
so
much.
much fun, and your
It's so
questions
fun
have
to
been
talk
incredible
with
as
you.
well.
Yeah, they have.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's been so much fun, honestly. I mean, we could talk about film till the cows come home, for honest.
We can.
Like, comment below, and subscribe for more. Love you guys.